It's a Tuesday evening. You check your bank account, and something feels off. You've been doing everything right, showing up to work, paying your bills on time, even skipping the expensive coffee most mornings. And yet, when you look at that number on the screen, it barely moves. So you start doing the math. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. If you save $500 a month for a year, you end up with $6,000. That's decent, but after 10 years, $60,000. And after 30 years, $180,000. Sounds okay? Until you realize that $180,000 in 30 years won't buy what $180,000 buys today. And suddenly, a question hits you. Is saving alone actually going to get me there? Or am I missing something? Here's what most people don't realize. $500 a month is enough to completely change your financial future, but only if you do something specific with it. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. My name is John. If you're someone trying to figure out how to actually build wealth on a normal income, hit subscribe and drop a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Saving money is not the same as building wealth. Now I know that sounds backwards, because everyone tells you to save. Your parents said it. Your bank says it. Every financial article says it. And saving is important, but saving alone is like filling a bucket with a hole in it. Here's why. When money just sits in a savings account, it earns almost nothing. The average savings account in the US pays around 0.5% interest. Some high-yield accounts go higher, maybe 4 or 5% right now. But historically, inflation runs at about the same pace, which means your money is essentially standing still in real terms. Let me show you the difference with actual numbers. If you save $500 a month for 30 years and earn 1% interest, you end up with roughly $210,000. If you invest that same $500 a month and earn 8% annually on average, you end up with over $745,000. Same $500, same 30 years, nearly 4 times the outcome. That gap right there is the difference between saving money and making money work for you. So if investing is that powerful, why don't more people do it? Because investing feels scary, and the reason it feels scary is mostly psychological. When your money is in a savings account, you can see it. It doesn't move. It doesn't drop 10% on a random Wednesday because some economic report came out. It just sits there, stable and predictable. Investing is different. Markets go up, markets go down. And when markets go down, the news makes it sound like the world is ending, which makes most people want to pull their money out and never touch stocks again. But here's the thing that most people miss. Short-term volatility and long-term growth are not the same thing. The stock market has crashed dozens of times throughout history. Every single time, it eventually recovered and went higher. The people who got hurt weren't the people who stayed in. They were the people who panicked and sold. So the first shift you need to make is mental. Stop thinking about what the market does this month. Start thinking about what it does over the next 20 years. Okay, so let's get practical. Here's exactly how to turn $500 a month into something real. Step 1. Build your foundation first. Before you invest a single dollar, you need a financial cushion. 3 to 6 months of living expenses sitting in a savings account. This is your emergency fund. It's not for investing. It's not for opportunities. It's for when life happens. Job loss, medical bills, car problems. Why does this matter? Because the biggest reason people panic sell investments is because they suddenly need the money. If you don't have an emergency fund, your investments become your emergency fund. And that's when bad decisions happen. So if you don't have that cushion yet, the first few months of your $500 go here, non-negotiable. Step 2, divide your $500 intentionally. Once your emergency fund is in place, your $500 gets split, not randomly, intentionally. Think of it this way. You have 2 buckets. Bucket 1 is stability. Bucket 2 is growth. Bucket 1 might be a high-yield savings account for a specific goal, a down payment, a trip, a career investment. Something you'll need in the next 1 to 3 years. Bucket 2 is your investing account, money that goes in and doesn't come out for a decade or more. The exact split depends on where you are financially, but a simple starting point, 80% to investing, 20% to a near-term goal. Adjust as your situation changes. Step 3, invest in something simple and consistent. Here's where most beginners go wrong. They think investing means picking the right stocks, watching charts, timing the market, finding the next big thing before everyone else does. That's gambling, not investing. Real long-term investing is actually boring, and boring is exactly what you want. The simplest and most proven approach for most people is index funds. These are funds that track the entire stock market instead of individual companies. When you buy an index fund, you're not betting on one company. You're betting on the entire economy growing over time. Historically, that has been a pretty reliable bet. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor alive, has said repeatedly that for most people, a low-cost index fund is the best investment they can make. Not because it's exciting, because it works. Step 4. Automate everything. The biggest enemy of long-term investing isn't the market, it's your own behavior. Specifically, the moments when you decide to skip a month, or pull the money out for something else, or wait until the market feels safer. The fix? Make the decision once, and then don't decide again. Set up automatic transfers on payday. Your $500 moves without you thinking about it, into your investment account, into your savings goal, automatically, every month. When investing becomes automatic, it stops being a willpower problem. It just becomes what happens. Let me show you what consistent investing actually looks like over time. Say you start at 30. You invest $500 every month into a broad index fund. The market averages 8% annually. You don't touch it. By age 40, you have roughly $91,000. By age 50, you have roughly $274,000. By age 60, you have roughly $745,000. But here's the part that surprises people. You only contributed $180,000 over those 30 years. The rest, over $560,000, came from growth, from compounding, from money making money. And this is why starting matters more than timing. The person who starts investing $500 a month at 30 will almost always end up with more than the person who waits until 40 and invests $1,000 a month. Time is the ingredient most people underestimate. Now, $500 a month is a powerful starting point. But what happens when your income grows? Here's a trap a lot of people fall into. They earn more money, and their lifestyle expands to match it. New car. But here's what long-term investors know that short-term thinkers don't. When the market drops, your monthly $500 buys more shares at lower prices, which means when the market recovers, those extra shares go up in value. Market downturns, for someone investing consistently, are actually opportunities, not disasters. The only scenario where a crash hurts you is if you needed the money now, which is exactly why the emergency fund in step 1 is so important. It protects your investments from your own life emergencies. So let's bring this together. $500 a month is enough, not because it's a large amount, but because of what it becomes when you invest it consistently over time. Build your emergency fund first. Divide your money between stability and growth. Invest in simple, broad index funds. Automate the process so it happens without willpower. And protect your investments by never touching them for short-term needs. The path from where you are to financial freedom isn't a lottery ticket. It's not a hot stock tip. It's not a perfect moment to start. It's $500 a month, invested consistently, for long enough that compounding does the heavy lifting. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. If this video gave you a clearer picture of how to get started, hit subscribe. And I want to hear from you. Are you already investing consistently? Or is this something you're just getting started with? Let me know in the comments. Because the moment you move from just saving to actually investing, that's when everything changes.